Hi everyone, Carlo here, and I want to welcome you guys to another episode of The Crossover. Thank you so much for tuning in, and before I introduce my guest here for tonight, I just want to take this time to thank all you guys from the bottom of my heart. Everyone who's emailed me and liked and commented and subscribed from the first episode. I'm just so humbled and grateful and appreciative for the feedback and for you guys to reach out and interact with each other as well. And to know that in the whole grand scheme of things, the universe, God source, the one infinite creator, whatever that is in alignment with you, the deepest parts that make you wake up in the morning and feel like you need to do something, whatever that may be, whatever you're passionate about, what you came here to do, what you can contribute to society, to each other. We are all supported no matter what. And I really feel like I'm doing this channel for you guys. So, we can all share, interact, and connect with each other. Because one of the reasons why I feel the need to be interactive with the show, and I guess you can say interact with people in general now, is because I noticed that slowly but surely we're transitioning into this new paradigm, this new earth. As we go through this transition, I know eventually that everyone will have this opportunity to create and cooperate and showcase their creativity within each other. So no matter what, guys, we're all here for each other, and nobody is above or below each other. And I definitely wouldn't be here without you guys as an audience. So again, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you. I appreciate all of you and much love to all of you, and yeah, the best is yet to come. I promise you that. So for this episode, guys, I just wanted to join two topics together that are both pretty much near and dear to my heart. And those are, one, the event, obviously, because God knows I've talked so much about it in the first episode. And the other topic is twin flames. And I feel like I need to do this because, I feel like these two haven't been talked much together that often in the same discussion, on a very quantitative and extensive way. And I feel like this is a great opportunity to combine and join, as in the twin flame community, as we call it, join these two together. So I brought a special guest tonight to talk about it. And, I feel like it's really time to mix it up and bring another perspective into the show. And, again, guys, this is a very interactive and episodic show. So I'm trying now to bring in guests, connect as much as I can with you guys. So we already are bridging that gap between the new earth, the fifth dimensional consciousness we're going through, and physically ground it into our physical reality right now. So we bring more of a conscientious effort to co-create and connect with each other, not just with the spiritual community, but with the people who are waking now. I feel like, it's like, why wait? We can do this now. So we are going to talk about more about the event and twin flames. So if you guys don't know, twin flames, this is just my opinion and what it curtails and the definition of it. And so twin flames to me are this idea of two people who are considered, you could say, two soulmates that not only complement each other perfectly, but mirror themselves so dynamically in a multi-dimensional level. And in that process, we complete ourselves through the service of others and, the ascension of our own being. So I wanted to give that definition. And I also wanted to give another definition from Elizabeth Clare Prophet, who is one of the first pioneers of the twin flame concept. And I was reading her book like the other day, and I felt like I needed to share that with you guys to have a better understanding of this concept of twin flames. And I'm going to read it off right now. And I quote, "Each of us has a twin soul, or a twin flame, who was created with us in the beginning. God created you and your twin flame out of a single white fire body. He separated this white fire ovoid into two spheres of being, one with masculine polarity and the other with a feminine polarity, but each with the same spiritual origin and unique path of identity. Eons ago, you and your twin flame stood before the Father and Mother God and volunteered to descend into the planes of matter to bring God's love to the earth. The original plan was that you would go through a series of incarnations in both masculine and feminine embodiments, as each half of the divine whole learned to be an instrument of the Father and Mother God. Whew. Yeah, that's kind of cool to just read that off and just contemplate that and process that whole meaning entirely. So, and I know you guys listening right now, I believe, whether you don't have a twin flame or not, or if you're in a soulmate relationship, or if you just have a relationship in general, it doesn't really matter, because, I believe that many of us here now are directly tied into this ascension process, and mainly starting off with the event. And, when the time comes, we need to be in service of people. And from that quote from Elizabeth Clare Prophet, like, service is very important right now, and the world needs it. And we are here to help and to heal and to bridge others who are now going through the shift, this shift of ascension, this awakening. And lastly, guys, I know that, many in the twin flame community I know that many of us have been separated with our twins, and that's okay. I believe really strongly that there's a reason for that. And whatever that reason is, whether it's to make us stronger, to to dangle that carrot until the event comes, or something of that nature, it's meant to remind everyone that there's more to this dynamic of being in a romantic relationship with somebody, that we need to do our higher calling when we're being called upon, or if we're being guided to do so. So I feel like, I really feel like we signed up for this, guys. And and don't worry about reuniting with your twin. I mean, you're always going to be together with them, and there will be a time for that. There will be a time when we will all reunite. But for now, like, with everything going on with the world, I feel like we need to be in service, and especially since the event is so close, I feel like that's a way more important priority right now in our whole entire collective, and not just in our lives. I feel like, if you listen to like a lot of the QHHT sessions from Albert Wyman, and I mentioned this in the first episode, like the whole entire universe or multi-dimensional reality that we're living in right now, they're all watching us right now, and what we do during the event. And it's just a special time, a special time to be alive. And yeah. Speaking of timing, this is a good transition for me to bring in my guest right now and with you tonight. And she's a very good friend of mine, and she's done the work academically, being a certified holistic life coach in her own right. She's also an intuitive guide, and she's amazing at giving out readings. I've had a reading with her, and I had an amazing experience with that. And she's also a talented artist and singer, musician, and of course, she is a twin flame, and she's a twin flame extraordinaire. So you can't have an episode with twin flames without being a twin flame yourself. So, Nesa, I want to I want to introduce you guys to Nesa. So, Nesa, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here, and hello to everybody that's listening.
Yeah, I'm so excited as well. And and for you guys listening, I wanted to bring her out here because every time we have a discussion, it's so insightful and profound, and I just have a fun time like sharing ideas with her. And and I feel like we need to put this out, because and because she has this. Nesa, you have this amazing ability of thinking outside the box, and I know that comes from you being an artist. And sometimes you can get rid of the box, and
yeah.
And to me, that's like a gift by itself, considering everything going on right now. And I wanted you to come here because you have a different perspective of it, and people need to hear that. And I know the topic of twin flames is you definitely have a passion for it, and I want to share your intellect and introduce you.
Sure, thanks. I think it's part of the Sagittarius in me that always thinks outside of the box, and always wants to shoot for something greater. But definitely the twin flames journey has been very interesting as well. And I love that I have you to like share this knowledge with and kind of play around with our ideas.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's very interesting because, Sagittarius and Aries. I'm an Aries, I'm an Aries
Yes,
princess. So it's like,
double fire.
I guess that's why we connect with each other so well. But
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna go ahead and like start with a question. So because I've been talking for a while, but yeah. So in your opinion, Nessa, or any of your experience as well, like what are twin flames and what does that mean to you?
First, I really loved what you just read from the book about twin flames, and how we are here to balance our feminine and masculine energies. I feel that when twin flames meet, this is one thing that we are working on as we get to know each other and also form a union. It's about this harmony that we are looking for. But for me personally, twins mean more than just soulmates. This is just a divine connection that is more than even what any soulmates can show you or teach you, because in our lives we will meet a lot of different people in relationships that we're going to get in and out of, which are soulmates, and they teach us many lessons. Meanwhile, twin flames will basically teach you the purpose of life and how you can master unconditional love. And I believe that basically twin flames are here to experience and master unconditional love within themselves. From their exposure to one another, they're mastering unconditional love so they can be good at it and also emanate that onto the earth and teach others about it, and what it truly means to experience unconditional love, because it's a love that nothing can phase, nothing can get to. It's always there. No matter what happens in our realities, we will always experience this love. So I feel the twins are here to teach people and earth about who we truly are to the core of our being, not just the twins, but everybody. And also the light workers are included in this. So we're basically here to clean up what's been happening, the injustices or social expectations that we have been accustomed to, and all the conditioning. So this applies to all of us, and the light workers and the twins. So there are many light workers out there who are doing a great job, and we're all in this together.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Wow. Yeah, this is why I brought her to the show, guys, because just that alone, that explanation alone is just like an amazing. And there's so much insight there, and in terms of balancing ourselves or balancing our energies and harmonizing ourselves and teaching us, that's who we truly are. I love your answer, Nessa. And you mentioned the importance of unconditional love. And I know that's very important for us in our own specific journeys. So I kind of want to know, since I know that you're a singer and you're an artist and you're passionate about that and you're passionate about your work, but for the rest of our audience, like, what do you recommend for others to master their own unconditional love?
What is unconditional love? Let's just kind of start it from there. It's about learning to be unconditional. It's about loving others no matter what is happening around you externally. This is one thing to always remember. And it's about loving yourself in the first place. Not just, especially when you're with your twin, you know that this is unconditional love and that you're going to love this person no matter what happens, right? And if you don't know that, you're soon going to find out. But it's about loving yourself in the first place, not just loving unconditionally to the point where your twin does all of these things and you just kind of take it. You don't take it. You love yourself unconditionally, and you do whatever it takes for you to feel that connection to source and to keep yourself in that flow and not be fazed by what anybody else is doing, not your twin. This is what your twin is teaching you, to not be fazed by anything else in the world, so you can fully stand strong in your alignment and have that love for you no matter what.
Because if you don't love yourself first, you won't be able to convey that love with others, and that's
exactly.
Yeah.
It's about keeping that connection with source and seeing the world through the eyes of source. Source is never going to say, okay, well, look what you're doing, I'm just going to like judge you, or I'm going to feel bad here. No, source is just always knowing and trusting in you and knowing that you are going to succeed. You are a divine being, that all is good, and even in our contrast, we're always learning lessons, and that we are here for a reason. We are divine no matter what our actions are.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That's awesome. That's the perfect way to end that, because we're all connected with a God source, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we need to understand that, like, hey, like you, me, everyone, like we're all important. We need to love ourselves unconditionally in that fashion, to remind ourselves, like, yeah, like you are worth it. You are one and the same with everybody. And I know that's a little esoteric for some people, but it's really true, and it's just the time that we're living in right now. We're getting out of it. So,
well, it's really, for me, it's all about releasing old patterns, and meditation is key when it comes to that. When it comes to connecting to yourself, to your inner being, through meditation, we can actually tap into the source of who we are and experience that love that's always flowing to and through us. And finding that balance and harmony is the key, because we have been conditioned to thinking a certain way. For example, there's been this masculine and feminine sort of push and pull in the world when you look at it, so now we're basically changing all of that. We're learning that every single person has masculine and feminine energies within themselves, that one cannot exist without the other, that you need to use your masculine and feminine energies in order for you to have balance and to feel like your full self. So for me, I would, if anybody, whatever our steps, everybody's different. And so whatever you feel guided to do, that would be your thing. But personally, for me, was about releasing old patterns and everything that I've been taught since childhood. And meditation has been the source for me to be able to feel the unconditional love that is flowed to us through source.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And we're stepping into this new paradigm where we're releasing those old patterns and conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
and meditation as well. I understand that they don't feel guided to meditate, then maybe that's for them to do another time. But I feel
or
like
maybe they can go dancing, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. That every person is different. I honestly never thought that I would get into meditation as hard as I am in now. I'm loving it because I was able to feel source through the meditation. I'm able to basically release my patterns by tuning out of the external world, which is the 3D, and going deeply within to feel who I truly am, to feel my true essence, and to connect to source. Because, the mind has its own way of making you think certain things, especially if you have these patterns that you've been accustomed to. So, definitely art, and I can see myself when I get into the flow of painting, I get into it, and I tune out of the external world and this reality, and it works as meditation does. So whatever works for each individual, to be creative and to tap into that creative side. But really, truly the unconditional love and how to experience more of it is to love yourself first and to feel that love through source. Because source is always flowing love to and through us unconditionally, eternally. So it's just up to us to connect to that. and to stay there. And even if we're not there, we're always learning anyways. We will get back on regardless. So
Yeah.
it's basically just giving yourself the love that you know you deserve.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, we all deserve that, I feel, and
Yes.
and especially with the world going on right now. And I kind of want to transition to the other topic of why is everything the way it is now? Why is it happening to everybody? And I kind of want to hear your thoughts on the event and what that means for you, and how would you define that? And do you feel like it's tied in somehow to what we're experiencing?
That's really funny. As you're asking me this question, what a thought came to mind, that even before you asked me the question, but that we've been conditioned to basically think with our minds and use the mind more than the heart, when in reality, the heart is supposed to be our guiding force. And then in how we interpret things and how we deal with others and the world, a lot of people are not using their hearts and thinking basically from the heart. It's about really using the heart as much as we're using the mind in order. So this is why, there's so many things happening in our external world. We can see so much mess going on because we haven't utilized our humanness, in the way that it is given to us.
Yeah. And how would you connect more to your heart? Is it more like pertaining to the career, the way you're talking about, or is it something entirely different?
Mostly like how we've been taught, especially the masculines, the males in the world. They're taught to not use their emotions. They are accustomed to not being able to express themselves from the heart. They are considered weak if they use their emotions or if they feel things. But this is the nature of who we are. We all feel, we all have hearts, and so this is the problem. Not, let's say, well, yeah, it's kind of a problem because we all are to use our hearts. This is our guiding system. Our emotions are there to guide us in life, in what resonates with us and in who we are and all of that. So I feel like we are to come to terms that our heart and our emotions are very important in a sense, in our success and in the way we deal with each other and the way the world operates. We're not meant to be cold-blooded. We're not meant to fight with each other or like have differences in the world, such as wars and stuff like that. We are not, our human form, if you look at it, we don't have any claws in our hands. Like, we're not like, supposed to be in any kind of a fight or anything like that. We're just supposed to be, I feel that we are a species where we are supposed to be loving.
It ties back to the conditioning and to the releasing the old patterns that you mentioned earlier. For a male, as a twin flame myself, I completely understand. For me, it's difficult to be myself and not be vulnerable and tap into my emotions, which most guys don't usually do because, we've been taught a certain way. But for me now, in my own awakening, I feel like I need to be honest with people.
Right.
And my twin, she has been the biggest teacher in terms of releasing those patterns and releasing that idea of always trying to romanticize a relationship. And I feel like it's time to let all that go. And the biggest lesson for me from her is like releasing her, not in a way where I'm letting her go, like in the physical, spiritual, mental, or anything, or any of those levels. I feel like it's letting go of that conditioning, and to fully embracing this unconditional love that we were supposed to inherit. It's embedded in us to love each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're here to love.
Yeah, we are. But On the next question, Nessa, do you feel like as we are closer to this event, or actually awakening to their own energies and being their true authentic selves, do you feel that we are gonna recognize each other? Since that veil is gonna lift.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting question because I mean, I feel that in 5D it's a different story. We're already hanging out and know, we've never separated. So when it comes to what we're experiencing now, it seems like what we're experiencing now is it seems like we would recognize each other on a greater level as we raise our vibration
Hmm.
and come into light bodies. We definitely will be recognizing each other. Not that we don't, I mean, it depends, like, in our human mind, the way we are interpreting certain things right now, I feel that both of the twins, in any case, are aware of each other. But it's just it depends on where everybody is on their journey, because there are many stages of this union that go into play when it comes to recognizing each other.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I mentioned this before, like before I made a call, like, we as twins, we're so used to being in the 5D, and
Yeah.
it's a totally different dynamic. And I kind of want to hear you elaborate more on, after once the event happens and once we fully transition to this new earth, or if the event happens anyways, like, do you feel like the relationship dynamics is going to be more different? Because we are here to I feel like we are here to shake up things, in terms of the conditioning that you mentioned
Right.
earlier. Like, what do you envision, like, the relationship dynamics after we experience this event, or in that
Well, I
regard?
feel like, right. I feel like after the event that we will definitely be able to notice each other on a greater level. But depending on what sort of energies come through and what sort of shifts happen after the event or prior to the event, it just depends on that. Really, twins definitely do recognize each other even now, but I was kind of thinking, depending on what happens, maybe like one twin stays here and the other one is on the other side, so they can kind of like work together on like
Yeah.
transferring people over. you know, I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just a wild thought, but
I'd love to hear more of that, though. I mean, this is such an exciting time to be at, and whatever happens, when it's all said and done, I always have this idea of leaving a legacy behind. And you talked about this, and in our previous conversation, of how important that is, and being in the moment. And when it's all said and done, it's like we can look back and it's like, oh, like we helped the ascension process on Earth, in 2018, or or whenever how long this prolong itself. So uh I kind of want to get your take on the importance of being in the moment now, and the importance of leaving a legacy behind. Can you elaborate on that?
right, we're totally in for a treat. That's how I feel. And as every day kind of unfolds, I'm feeling different energies coming through, which is amazing. It's sort of prepping all of us up to the event. But I feel that it is very important for us to keep our vibrations high and to work on our vibrational levels, because that's going to benefit others around us as well in this process of ascension. Because as we heal our vibrational patterns and tap into our fullness, everything around us starts to shift. So we are going to start seeing the world around us changing, and this is prepping us so to shine the light for others so they can see the path. I feel like many of us have been prepping for a while now. Some are more along the way, and some are just kind of like having their feet in the water of this ascension process. But we all contribute equally, and we are accomplishing a paradigm shift in our consciousness, which in turn affects the entire planet. So It's very important to keep our vibration up, and it does, especially in the twin flame community, it is important to not just give all your focus onto whatever is happening with your union. It's so important for twins and all of the light workers to keep their vibrational levels high and do the best that they can to maintain them, as well as inspire people around them to see the light.
Mm. That's awesome. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, you mentioned that we were dealing with all types of energies, but I kind of want to ask, like, how do you keep it high and maintain that high vibration? Besides meditation, of course, but like, do you feel like does nutrition play a role in that and what we eat as well, or?
Definitely, I do. I mean, I've stopped eating all animal products and meat and everything because my body was asking for that. It's not that I just kind of just went one day and like, okay, I'm gonna switch my whole entire diet. Not really. My body, yeah, my body completely just was like, okay, well, I'm ready for something else. So it's so important to keep feeding the body with nutrients that are good for you, especially fruits and vegetables. They're high in vibrational. Fruit is really high in vibration, but also tuning out of the news, for example, to keep your vibration high. It's about not giving into things that can get to us. You know what I mean? Not paying attention to, I mean, we can pay attention, okay, but not nonstop being immersed in the news that brings your vibrational levels down. Any habits like alcohol or whatever it is that can have an effect in your consciousness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's about being healthy and exercising, eating the right food, listening to positive things, affirmations. But really, most important thing is definitely to just heal yourself at this time. I feel like to give your attention to yourself, because I feel that this time right now is very important for us, each individual, to go within and heal anything that needs to be healed deep within. I've noticed that sometimes when we think about it, we're like, oh yeah, I healed that part of myself, but then it comes up and you're like, whoa, I really thought I had that. So it's really about checking within and just making sure that you are healed enough to be vibrating high at all times. Not that you're going to be vibrating high every second, 24 hours, but most of the time keeping your vibrational levels high, so that we can all benefit from that. And then the time will come for us to be there for others. We have to be stable enough and healed enough and in those higher vibrations before we can be of benefit to the world.
Yeah, and I love that answer because, you know, not many twins realize, like, they always tend to go to the future. It's like, oh, when am I gonna, when am I gonna reunite with my twins? Like, you know what, guys, this is such a perfect opportunity. And you said it, you just said it right now. Like, now is the time to heal ourselves, to rest, to reflect, because when the time comes when we come back together, it's like, we're only gonna get stronger after that. So
yeah,
do what you need to do to prepare yourself, not just for your twin, but for this whole ascension process. Because, guys, we all need you, at this critical juncture in time. It's like, it's not about just being this constant of urging of to be with your twin, on a romantic level. We have a mission here. We need to do our part, to really love ourselves unconditionally, to take time to reflect, to take time to rest.
And not just the twins. I want to add, even all of the light workers, everybody.
Yeah.
This is for everyone. This is for every single person that is listening, every single person that is in the light worker community. It's. I feel like for right now, the time for us is to heal ourselves first and foremost. And then when the event comes, maybe that's when we are supposed to be, going out there and healing others and helping them to switch over.
Yeah. Yeah, and I talked about this many times with you, and I feel now the urge to just focus in on myself because this event is like coming soon. And do you have any like validating or correlating insights with that in terms of like other twins going the same thing? Because for the longest time, I was a chaser, you know. But now, like 2017, I've just been the runner, you know, trying to go within and work on me and do the mission that I was came to do. And do you feel like, do you have any insights on that in terms of like more people now focusing on their missions and instead of just me?
Yeah, it seems appropriate for everybody to start more focusing on the mission rather than the whole twin flame thing and the relationship, as new energies come in and they're going to activate us to start shifting our perception and shifting our focus towards healing ourselves. And depending on where each person is in their twin flame journey, that will also determine where their focus is. I mean, I definitely feel what you're saying when it comes to the whole runner chaser thing. Everybody's starting to talk about this twin flame thing, runner chaser, and certain people are confusing it with soulmates versus twin flames. This is being so confused, I feel. So it's really not about the runner chaser. It's about feeling the energies and finding that harmony. This love is so powerful that when the twins feel the love, sometimes it's just we're not used to it in a physical sense, that the separation happens so that we can heal those parts within ourselves. And then once we are healed, we go to like another level. That's how I feel. It's like there are always levels for us to shed that what we have been taught, because this is basically true love that we don't see often, right? And when you feel that, it's such a strong connection and a strong pull that it's about balancing those energies and not being a runner chaser, because that's going to shift. That can shift at any time. I mean, I've experienced that with my twin. Like, I was a chaser for a while. It's just kind of seems like there is a protocol, or there's a way that the entire situation unfolds. One of the twins wakes up and realizes, hey, this is my person, or however it comes in. Sometimes angels and guides come through and they make you aware of what your reality is, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, this is the person. And you feel all of that love, and then it just starts building up, and the other person's like, whoa, like, this is a little much here, I wasn't prepped for this,
Yeah.
So then you kind of find like like, okay, let's try this. And then you start building some sort of relationship, or you connect, and you realize it's such a deep connection that you don't know how to take it. So it's the push and pull always keeps on happening. So my twin and I have switched roles for sure many times. A lot of times I'm like, oh God, I don't want anything to do with this. I gotta move on. I'm, on another thing, and there's no way. Like, and then you go back to it. You're like, yeah, I love him so much. It's just a funny thing.
That's amazing. It's, no one is above each other. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this is true love, like what you were saying, and that connection, that pull. It doesn't really matter because we're feeling the energies. It's back and forth. And
right.
If it didn't work the first time, it's not going to work now. So, you know what I mean? It's like in insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And you said, let's try something different. Let's try something new. And we have to learn to accept our failures, to find what works, what doesn't work, and find ways to improve ourselves in whatever fashion that may be. And you have to learn to be your own master. In feudal Japan, they call these individuals ronin, a samurai without a master. So, and you talk about it's so confusing sometimes. And I agree with you. And, we have to understand that every relationship that we have, no matter if it's our twin, our soulmates, it's going to be different every time. There's no guideline for us to look upon certain things like, oh, you have to do this in a certain way. Like, no, no. You and me, we're human just like everybody else, and we're trying to get through this. And thank you so much for mentioning that we're always going to be in this energetic level, of duality, no matter what. And when things get really rough, like, no matter what you're going through, it's like we're always going to be with each other, I feel.
Yeah. And you know what? Also, it's really all about going within and knowing your own unique experience. Even if, for example, you're not in union with your twin, it's about finding that acceptance and being unconditional. And it's knowing that you're not in union yet because there needs to be work done, either on your side or on the twin side. So, for example, every relationship that you go through in your life preps you up for your twin. And if your twin, for example, when you get together, you're not ready for each other, you or your twin might separate. So your twin can have a soulmate that preps them up for you, because you wouldn't want to be in a relationship with them, or you couldn't even exist together if you are not completely healed. You would be clashing, and we don't want this clashing. We want to come to each other in our fullness, to fully respect and love each other for who we are, to recognize each other for who we are, to treat each other in a way that we are meant to be together.
Yeah, we just have to accept ourselves first. And I have to, speaking of acceptance, I'm going to mention real quick on a scientific level of our twins, we're always going to be with each other. And I recently saw a video on Gaia where Andrew Collins, talked this idea of quantum entanglement. And it's this idea in the scientific community where a single particle will split itself in two. And whenever this particle creates itself into two particles, and whatever interacts or behaves or whatever it does, or whenever it gets altered with the environment around them, they will always respond to each other in an equinox's direction. So when I saw that, I was like, ding, 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 bingo, twin flames right there on a scientific level. Like Andrew Collins just explained it. We're even in biology, where the process of mitosis is changing and separating each other on a molecular level. We're dividing it all the time within our bodies, and things are always dividing, things are always restructuring, things are always regenerating. So I feel like there is a mutual and beneficial acceptance that we need to really understand. We're always going to be with each other. And on the quantum level, distance does not mean anything. So if your twin is like on the other side of the world, if she or he is on like another part of the galaxy, that resonance, that frequency on a quantum level between these two particles or these two beings, they're always going to balance each other out no matter what. They're always going to complement each other appropriately and progressively. That red string, that red string is real. It's connecting us with not just with our twins, but everybody else, around us on a grander symbiotic level. So, yeah.
That's beautifully said.
Yeah. Yeah, I love your answer, Nesa. Just accepting that and have faith in that,
Right.
It's amazing. I want to do one or two more questions real quick before I let you go. And is there anything else that you'd like to relay, or if you have any other messages for our community in general or our collective as a whole?
Well, for us, I feel that our most important thing for us is to stay in our now and not to dwell too much what happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future, but really know that our power is in the now, and to just keep on doing the work that we're doing, and to have faith and trust that everything will unfold in perfect divine order.
Yes. I like that idea you just said right now, and letting go, and what I interpreted from that is like forgiveness. Forgiveness, I feel it's huge.
It is. It's also forgiveness towards yourself, forgiving yourself for something that you thought that, you did, or whatever it could be. Forgiving yourself first and foremost, because when you forgive yourself, you know that you are here for a reason, and that all of your experiences have taught you to become this person that you are right now. So there's no, I strongly feel that Source never forgives us because there was nothing to be forgiven for. We
Wow.
are free. We are free. We're free. We're free to choose whatever we want. We are born with this gift of freedom to express ourselves in the way that we want to experience whatever we want to experience in order for us to determine what truly works for us. So within this freedom, there should never be any kind of holding feelings or forgiveness, because we're just free. We're just divine beings in this reality to determine what works for us and to find light. It's like it's like peeling the layers, and
Yeah.
going closer to the light.
Yeah. Um, wow. The one quote you just said earlier, you said, "You are here for a reason," and that just culminates to everything that we talked about, and do you feel like there is a reason for all of this? Like, speaking of like the divine plan of what God source has entailed for us, like, does what do you think of that? I know that's such a deep question, but what do you interpret in terms of the divine plan?
That is a big question. I mean, it's kind of like the ultimate question. Why are
Yeah.
we here? Or,
I always ask
what is
everybody that, so just um,
right?
yeah,
Um, well, I guess we will all get to see why this experience is here. But I mean, it just, I feel for the most part is for all of us to recognize our truth, even in the 3D, okay, to get to understand who we fully are, even in as a human being, to find that balance between our non-physical counterparts and our physical counterpart, to express ourselves. I feel like we're all amazing creators, and that our mission here is to connect to our non-physical counterpart through our physical bodies here. I feel that that's part of the plan, and it looks like we're doing really well.
yeah. I think so too. I think we are doing really well, and
Hmm.
it's a never ending process. And yeah, thank you, Nessa, for being here. And I want to send you so much blessings, and only hope for the best for you. And um, where can we reach you, by the way?
Thank you. Well, I have a website. It's called loveandlightheals.com, or you can email me at nessa@loveandlightheals.com.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you again for that information. And yeah, guys, there you go. Nessa bringing insights on the importance of unconditional love, forgiveness, being in the here and now, following your purpose. Because you guys, you all have a purpose here, and with or without the event. And I encourage you guys to connect with her because she specializes. If you've heard the whole episode, I mean, come on, like she specializes in twin flames. And she's also intuitive reader. She's also a certified life coach, and I'll have her information on the description box in case you guys need to contact her. And just thank you guys once again.
Thank you, Carlo.
Yeah.
And thank you, everyone. Yeah, this has been a great discussion. Thank you, everyone. And if anybody wants to connect, feel free to connect. I love these discussions and topics on the Ascension. So this has been a great experience.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's always fun to be here to interact with you guys, to do our missions. And I just can't believe we're actually doing our missions, what we volunteered here to do. And we're such an exciting time right now where the majority of us are doing that. And, to inspire each other, to help each other, to bring that bridge together, as we get closer to this event and even further down the road into the new earth. Remember, guys, everything you do is important. Everything and anything you're going through is preparing you for what you asked for. And lastly, if you guys are listening to this, and Nessa spoke about it earlier, you have a purpose more and more greater than you can ever realize. So keep that in mind. And thank you guys so much for listening through. And, we wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you very much for just taking the time. And if you can, just, like, comment, subscribe, and connect with each other. I know there's like a lot of comments already in the first episode, and I encourage that, and we need each other right now, and we need each and every one of you right now. And there's definitely going to be more episodes to come. So also there's, speaking of episodes, I actually have one special episode coming up shortly where you guys can actually contribute and be featured in the episode. So, and obviously it's going to be more about the event. So until next time, I hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.